I gotta ask you. We running down all Knicks. You know what I'm saying? We running down all Knicks. If you are a New York sports fan, if you a Knicks fan, this is where you want to be. You understand what I'm saying? Drunk sports talk. This is where you want to be. All New York talk, all drunk talk. The city is we from the city. You know what I'm saying? But yo. Obi Toppin, right? Let's unpack Obi Toppin for me. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time with it, but we got to talk about Obi, right? Obi is from the city. I fucks with Obi. I got love for Obi. Okay, real talk. Now he's unhappy with his role, correct? Happy with his role. He's playing behind Juju, right? We talked about what Juju's accolades were, right?
Yes, 2-time All-Star, All-NBA on the team twice. You know what I mean?
And he tips this guy, Juju, right?
Yeah.
So Obi, I think he has raw talent, right? I think he has raw talent. You've seen when he leaks out, gets those crazy, what they call them dunks,
you know, leg.
They have a name. I'm slipping my head.
Fucking nigga be fucking
when he leaks out on the break, get the dunk, the guards on fire.
He got a motor on him.
But other than that, he's been relegated to a spot up corner 3 shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doesn't rebound that well, right? But I'm wondering, is it because he's playing behind Juju? Is he a little bit discouraged? Is that hindering his game? Either way, we had some leaked audio last week.
Oh shit!
Him and I think it was one of the games at the Miami. Was it game 2? I forget what it was. Maybe game 4. Pardon me. I'm a little saucy.
No, it's all good, baby. It's all
drunk
good.
sports talk, bro. Don't worry about it. I'll be there soon, hopefully.
Fact. Him and Tibbs going at it. He was talking reckless to Tibbs. Right?
Oh,
Tibbs,
I haven't even heard it yet.
Whoa, I'm gonna play. You want me to play it right now?
Yeah, real quick. Tibbs is not one of those coaches you can just talk reckless to. He's a disciplinarian, right? He's not one of these mysterious dudes. Play the audio, then I want to ask you, what's the future of Obi? We just drafted his brother, right?
Yeah.
And I want to see what y'all thoughts on. Will he remain a Knick? Was the play to draft his brother for him to stay? You know, I want to see what y'all thoughts.
I feel like I was a ploy to keep him.
Let that audio go.
What are the odds? All right, I got you.
This nigga wild, bro.
Basically, that was it. He was just like, "Yo, Tibbs."
Yeah, the audio is not that great on anyone's platform.
Yeah. So he was like, basically, "Yo, Tibbs." Yo, Tibbs. Basically, like trying to, complaining about his playing time. They could have used him out there. I agree. They could have used him on the floor certain games. And Tibbs, he's old school New Yorker himself. You know what I mean? People forget that he was assistant coach for the Knicks under Van Gundy.
Indeed.
When he had hair, when he had a full set of hair. You know what I mean? So he a real school New Yorker, so he gonna talk his shit too. And he's the coach at the end of the day. But let me flip it a little bit. Let me ask you a question. Do you think maybe Obi is a victim of the system? Because the Knicks system under Thibodeau. Thibodeau's notorious for ISO plays. The isolation plays. Great defensive mind, but he's more ISO ball, and there's no ball movement.
Ball doesn't move, and that was evident in the Miami series, right?
Yeah. In the Cleveland series, I felt like Cleveland could have been us, because if we would have pulled the trigger for Spider Mitchell, maybe that could have been us. We didn't have the depth in the bench. Yeah. So I think that's Cleveland. So so we had the slight edge. But in the
they got beat up on the boards too.
Yeah, bully ball. We got bully ball.
Shout out to Mitch.
Shout out to Mitch. In the Miami series, it kind of exposed us that we don't have no good ball movement. We got the players. We got the better bench. The better team overall. We just don't got the ball movement. So what you think? Right. You think Obi just didn't play to expectations, or he was just a victim of the coaching system?
You want to fill this one, Quest?
I think I think it's Tibbs, man. Like and we've seen it in so long. He's not playing these young guys. Which is why you take a Brooklyn nigga like Obi. You gonna get out of your face sooner or later, man. Like, yo, you're not even playing me a little bit.
Yeah, that's not even his image. He's a likable dude.
Yeah. It could be frustrating. And what's crazy is that it's not even the fact that he didn't even play him in the playoffs. He really didn't get no play time in the season. You know what I mean? And he's good. You can't expect a player to develop in a real in-time game situation when you're never in an in-game situation. You can't just keep practicing and then when they finally send you out there, you're gonna be an automatic bucket or you're gonna make a dunk or play the defense. Nah, man, it's always gonna be different. It's always gonna be timing. And I say this just to say that I think if Tibbs can improve on that and let these young guys do, because he started doing it with Emmanuel quickly. But why? Because he had to sit down RJ Barrett, but he seems like he doesn't want to rest Julius Randle because he knows he needs Julius Randle to make some points. But then he needs some rest too. Because maybe who knows? I don't know, and I ain't no psychic, but maybe if Julius Randle had a little bit more rest throughout the season, maybe he doesn't get injured as quickly in the playoffs.
Yeah, good point. He runs. Tibbs is notorious for running his players into the ground.
Down to the ground. He rolls. And that's another good point, too, about the Thibodeau being a coach. That's why guys like Jimmy Butler don't want to play with him again. Maybe that's why Zach LaVine's camp don't want him to come over because he coached Zach LaVine on his first season. Carl Anthony Towns has been rumors for us too. Carl Anthony Cat don't want to play with Tibbs again. Like there's a lot of people that don't want to play with Tibbs again. So as much as I love for Tibbs, he's a coach of the year. He won a championship with Boston. Blah blah blah. He has the New York roots. I feel like it's time for Tibbs to go. It's time for a change. I respect Tibbs. I love the coach that he came in with, but I think it's time to move on. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. But that's just how I feel.
No, I agree, and just to add on to the Obi thing, I'm not questioning Obi's heart. I'm somewhat questioning his work ethic. What is he doing in the summer? Who is he training with? Obi doesn't look like he's progressed in terms of being able to really go out and get his own shot, create off the dribble. Okay. I don't see the progression. I don't see a lot. His footwork hasn't improved. He doesn't get down on a block. You know what I'm saying? His rebounding is not improved. What is? I don't know. Is that Tibbs? Is that lack of effort? Is that lack of? I'm not sure. But Julius, even though it seems like he only goes left every year. Julius is bringing something else in his bag, bro. Yeah. You gotta step your game up, though, because Julius is here. You know what I mean?
But I feel like also now, I don't mean to cut anybody off. No. But I feel like it's also a lack of minutes because I'm looking at Obi's stats right now, and I remember vividly from last year. You remember when they weren't going nowhere? They were out the playoffs. You remember? 40 pieces. Him and Quickly were dropping like 30 something, 40 something a piece. Even this year, he dropped 35 in one game, 32 in 21, and this was like a week before the playoffs. So if the kid gets minutes, he gonna get you buckets. Like he's
also in like meaningless games too, though. You know what I mean?
True. Like the games, like I'm saying, it was against Indiana. It was against Indiana twice and Washington. Hence those teams is trash. But they're still proven. You playing an NBA team. Even if the team is whack, you're still playing against ballers. Like NBA.
No, absolutely.
Got ballers, especially like a team like Indiana. And even Washington they had great players. They just didn't have a good team all around. So I just feel like it's a menace team. You let this kid play, he's gonna get you buckets. Like he has a mold on him. He's just playing a different system that he's accustomed to. Remember, he was coming in. Everybody was predicting him to be like an Amari type of player when he was coming out of Drayton. He'll play. He had that fadeaway. Back to the basket, could rebound. He'll run the floor. Like he'll run the floor like LeBron in Cleveland, like his first stint in Cleveland. That's how he runs the floor. So I don't know. I think it's just a menace thing. If you play this kid more, I don't know. And then the whole Jacob Toppin thing too. That's just reeling him in. Like, yo, stay with us.
That was confusing. Now, question.
Nah, because that question's a two-headed monster. Like minutes and Tibbs. Potentially it could be both of their faults. Like we know it's the lack of minutes, but but then again on the flip side, like is Tibbs seeing something that we're not?
That's true too. Good point. Very good point.
Very good point.
Like, is he seeing his work ethic? Because you are right. Like, you can't come in to the new season and then just automatically just become a shooter and then only shoot 25% from the 3-pointers.
True.
Like and then not even do real damage in the mid shooting range.
Right.
When you get in the ball, you're always trying to slam it.
Yeah.
I know, we need him to see. I want to see some Hakeem Olajuwon spin moves, and because he looks like a strong dude. That's what we need, because we don't got it in Mitchell Robinson. We have it just a little bit with Julius Randle, but Julius Randle can bring it out from the 3-point line, so we don't really need that in the low key. But if Randle comes in, he switches the dynamic, because then now when Julius is out and we got a true big man in the post, that bench on the opposing team has to defend that.
Yes, sir.
They gotta play him hard. They gotta double team him, because he's gonna be backing these dudes down. Even though he's a little skinny, but he's strong. He backs him right down, give a nice little spin move. He can still dazzle him a little bit. Frazzle, dazzle, like Frazier always saying.
Yeah, my man. But he's not 220. He's 6'9", 220. He could body motherfucker.
But we all know he's not working on it, because he didn't really come in this year showing us any of that. He showed us some highlights of him running down the court and dunking the shit out of the ball.
Playing up in, I think it was Gaucho Gym with Jalen Brunson. I don't remember that.